After that one, the presentation of group outputs and preparing for the exhibit. Each group present their output to the class in preparation for the exhibit. Other groups will share ideas on how to further improve the presentations. Teacher facilitates and moderates the presentation and giving of feedback. After all the presentation, the teacher then gives suggestions on how to further improve outputs of each group in preparation for the exhibit. Each group revises their outputs based on the feedback of the teacher and their classmates. Each group then starts to prepare the booth they will put up to showcase the recycled, reduced, reused materials. During these meetings, the class also makes flyers and posts them around campus to announce the exhibit. So, ipapaalam nila dun sa mga ibang klase na they will having an exhibit. Then, for their take-home activity, of course, for each day, students write on their daily journal. Now, for the showcase of outputs. Pupils set up exhibit that features the recycled, reduced, and reused materials. Other collection of materials will be displayed to be sold in the junk shop. The audience here is encouraged to ask questions about their displays, about their presentations. So, and for the take-home activity, students again write on their daily journal. For the week 4, reflection and processing, the teacher congratulates everyone for their hard work and gives certificates of recognition to each other and for the group who have the high earnings of the sold waste materials. Kasi bibenta nga nila yung hindi nagawa, kung yung hindi na recycle ay kanilang ibibenta doon sa junk shop, at saka yung kung ano yung magiging pera nila out of those basura ay gagawan or ibibili ng mga basurahan. Of course, with proper segregation. Relating to what happened during the exhibit, the teacher then asked the following questions. From what you have just experienced, how important is recycling, reducing, and reusing to you? Of course, mayroon na silang proper scaffolding, makakasagot na ang mga bata niyan. What do you think is the individual role of the society towards protecting Earth? Do you think you were successful in helping promote the campaign in saving the Mother Earth? The teacher here facilitates the sharing and discussion. Then, as for their take-home activity, pupils are asked to write about the following. Learners gain from the experience. Out of those experience nila, yung pagsegregate ng mga basura dun sa bahay nila, yung paggawa ng mga junk art material, dun sa exhibit, dun sa pagbebenta ng mga materials, doon sa kita nila. Diba, at their young age, makikita na nila, uy, mayroon palang silbi yung mga patapon ng mga basura. Even those hindi na na-recycle, pwede palang ibenta doon sa, sa junk shop, at magkakaroon sila ng pera. Ibibili din ng trash can afterwards, at yun nga, kung ano yung learnings gained nila from those experiences. Then, questions about why we ought to save the Mother Earth. One sentence will do for each one. Here, for their culminating activity, they have their tree planting. The class mayor together with the teacher will coordinate the DNR office for the seedlings and barangay officials for the area in the conduct of the tree planting. Now for the teaching and learning. The teaching style here is the teacher roles as a facilitator, the group, pair, or individual work, the students accountable for own learning process, of course, the student-centered teaching and learning, the student assessment learning, then emphasis on the multiple intelligence, like the first activity, the interpretation or about Mother Earth, the critical thinking skills, and their moral values. The language skills are incorporated into activities because they are encouraged to speak English. Now, how your outputs will be presented. The rubrics will be used to assess the output of the class. So, the overall group performance collaboration rubrics. We have the rubrics for letter writing. We have rubrics for peer evaluation. And Share findings with your school and outside community. So display products on the exhibit. They have their class blog. They have their teacher's blog. They have to say something in English. And the tree planting. For the timetable, the entire unit plan is for 4 weeks spread out. So for the first week, the introduction of topic. For the second week, research and sharing, listing the identifying waste materials inside the household bin. And for the third week, the hands-on activity and the presentation of group outputs, the exhibit. And for the fourth week, reflection and processing, then culminating activities. Now, for the concept map of the integrated curriculum content of this learning unit, Save the Mother Earth here. For the civics, segregation, ayan, science. Ito siya, multidisciplinary, usually based on the topic. So, it is a deeper integration would happen through the concept-based integration. Makikita natin dito, one subject lang siya, pero matatouch yung ibang discipline. Yan. Okay? That's all for the Unit Plan 1, Save the Mother Earth. Now, let's proceed to the Unit Plan 2 with the theme Only in the Philippines. The World Heritage List includes various Philippine properties. These World Heritage properties relate a chapter of the Filipino story. They confirm the abundance of nature in the country and illustrate how Filipino creativity blossomed into a unique natural architecture, natural and cultural site. Okay, actually, the Only in the Philippines is for grade 6 class. In this unit, the grade 6 pupils will play the role of tourism staff that help promote the World Heritage Sites of the Philippines by learning the beautiful sceneries of the country and showcasing it in a multimedia presentation and making of scrapbooks. The showcase will be done after the exhibit that will be viewed by students from other classes. As students study particular sceneries, they are expected to note important details of the place. They also learn to express and explain in writing one's approval on contradiction to the activities lined up for the preservation of our heritage sites. Learning activities in this unit are geared towards inculcating in every Filipino youth the heritage they can be proud of. For the key concept, we have here the preserved cultural and heritage sites. For the central idea, the Philippines has a number of World Heritage Sites classified as cultural and natural, which should be preserved. For the week 1, introducing the unit, undertake a field trip to a heritage site in the community. Now, if it is not possible, the teacher can present a video clip, World Heritage Sites in the Philippines. So we have here the resources materials prepared. The link over YouTube is being provided already. Let the student examine the video and then say why these places become World Heritage Sites of the country. So their answers are shared to the class in the form of an oral recitation. Then motivate the students to express their ideas on why places like ones in the video presentation are among with the World Heritage Site. List down all answers given by the students and create a web here. Then students will list down all the historical places to be discussed, refer to the textbook and suggest additional reference for the students to consult or use. Then advise the students to refer to their book to look for the answers. They may also use other references or interview their parents or their teachers about the place. Teacher present the unit project and entertain questions from students and divide them into 4 groups. After the grouping is announced, students meet by group to start planning for the project. Each groups have their own tasks. So, they will play the role of tourism staff that will promote heritage sites of the Philippines by learning the beautiful sceneries of the country and showcasing showcasing it in a multimedia presentation and making scrapbooks. The showcase will be done during the exhibit that will be viewed by students from other classes. At the take-home activity, each group choose one World Heritage Sites in the Philippines acclaimed by the UNESCO, of course, that they will be showcasing. For the week 2, working on project, the teacher give a guide on the areas students should look into their information search about their chosen heritage site, such as geographical location of the certain place, its historical background, people and their cultural backgrounds, ways of preserving the places, and other significant details pertaining to the chosen World Heritage Site of the Philippines. The teacher also present list of websites as their guide on surfing the net. Students may also gather information and pictures from internet, magazines, and newspapers for their scrapbook making. Students also encourage drawing details in presenting the scrapbook depending on their creativity because nangyayari kasi dinidiscourage natin yung pagkakat ng mga estudyante ng mga picture out of the book for the future reference. Hindi na magagamit kasi nga kinakat na yung ibang parte. So we are encouraging the students or the pupils to more creative by simply drawing, have it draw the yung mga mapa or geographical locations sa lugar. And then members of each group will start gathering data about the chosen heritage site. Teacher also ensure that students cite their sources on their multimedia presentations. As the student work on the task assigned to them, the teacher should monitor of each group by requiring them to submit an accomplishment report at the end of each meeting. The teacher also requires students to fill out their daily journal to monitor its progress and difficulties. During these meetings, teachers should also be available to facilitate work of students and for consultations. As a student's preparation for their scrapbook, the teacher will guide students on what to include in their output. Scrapbooks should promote their chosen World Heritage Sites in the Philippines. At the end of this week, students should be ready with their multimedia presentation and scrapbook. Now for the week 3, the presentation of group outputs. Each group present their multimedia presentation to the class in preparation for the exhibit. Each group will share ideas on how to further improve the presentations. After its group presentation, the group submits their scrapbook to the teacher. Teacher facilitates and moderates the presentation and giving of feedback. After all the presentations, the teacher then gives suggestions on how to further improve outputs of each group in presentation for the exhibit. If there is time left, students can start working on the revision of their output. So for the week 4, for the revision of their output and preparing for the exhibit, each group revises their outputs based on the feedback of the teacher and their classmates. Then teacher approves output ready for the exhibit. Each group then starts to prepare the booth they will put up to showcase the chosen World Heritage Site of the Philippines. Then as take-home activity for each day, students write on their daily journal. So for the showcase of World Heritage Site of the Philippines, students set up exhibit that feature their chosen heritage site in the country. In the exhibit, other students can view the multimedia presentations and the scrapbooks made by each group. They will also entertain by songs and dances representing the cultural identification of their chosen heritage sites. The audience is encouraged to ask questions about their displays and presentations. As a take-home activity, of course, the students write again on their daily journal. For the reflection and processing, the teacher congratulates for the class for the work well done for the exhibit. Then relating to what happened during the exhibit, the teacher then asks the following questions. What they have observed from places they have presented. Exchange ideas on how the students can help preserve the historical places in their own little way. Allow the pupils to express their idea freely for them to suggest ways by which they can preserve and maintain the cleanliness of our historical places to the best of their abilities. Examples: observe signs about preservation of historical places, heritage sites. Let the class generate the ideas that a good Filipino loves and respects the heritage sites of the country, and let the class sing Pilipinas Kong Mahal. Infer from a given situation: if you are given a special talent by God, how will you use it? What laws are you going to make to protect our historical places and heritage sites? Then have a class read all together the things to remember. Let the pupils write a short essay on how they can help protect our historical places, natural resources, and the beautiful spots of the Philippines. One sentence or paragraph will do in this essay, short essay. And that is for my second unit plan. Here, the question essay. How to evaluate, of course, by the rubrics. And that is all for the second unit plan only in the Philippines. Thank you for listening. Goodbye and good evening.